So welcome everyone to this year's AGM. I think we all know each other, but it doesn't hurt to introduce ourselves. My name is Diana Basinkanta. I am the current chair. We'll go around, please. Starting from Peter.
Nominate
Peter C.
Because the order is different.
Yeah, Peter C.
Well, I'm an ordinary member of the Coventry branch, but as I alluded to just a few minutes ago, I'm treasurer of the Birmingham and Wolverhampton branches.
Okay, yeah. You're welcome, Peter. I think I've seen you somewhere online at a meeting.
I saw John's message appealing for numbers to me.
Okay. Yeah. Please. Yes. Yeah, thanks, Pete.
Thank you for joining.
I only signed up this morning, so.
Okay, that's fine. All right, John.
I'm John. Yeah, I'm the Coventry branch secretary. Have been since 1998.
Since you were a lad.
Okay.
Yeah. A bit wet behind the ears then. Took the job and made it, Yeah.
Irene.
I'm Irene Linding, former everything I've ever been. No, I haven't been a secretary or treasurer. But yes, and I'm currently the inclusion officer. And I was hoping to upload that onto somebody, but there's nobody here to upload it onto. So unless Rich or Peter would like.
Right.
Hi, Rich.
Peter M.
Hi, I'm Peter. I'm past chairman and now ordinary member and committee member.
All right. Welcome, Peter. Rich.
Hi, yeah, I'm Rich. So I'm just a committee member. My day job is running software development companies in Coventry and Warwickshire.
Welcome, Rich. Thank you, everyone. Any apologies? We have one from Margaret.
Yeah, we've had one from Adrian.
Okay.
And we've had one from Gary, the outgoing treasurer.
Yes, we do. And Gary's stepping down as well. All right. Let's go then to the minutes. I think John has shared the minutes. Do you want to go through? Let's see.
In terms of what?
Has everyone had an opportunity to look at the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
I've looked.
Okay.
Can I propose that we accept the minutes?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Irene.
Yeah. I'll second that. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
So Irene proposes, Peter M seconds, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any matters arising? Let me just look at the minutes now.
Good. Must have done a reasonably good job there.
Yeah, I think the so last AGM we did not have we were not able to elect a chair. For some reason, I did step up, and when I was doing the chair's report, I just realized I've done 6 months. Well, I've done 6 months sometime this later this month, and it's gone by quickly. So I think that's one thing from the minutes there.
Yeah. Thanks for taking up the reins.
So far, so good. John has been there. So we want to keep John there for as long as possible.
Well,
The other thing from the minutes was, I think that was an area where Peter talked about issues with getting catering from Coventry, I believe.
It was really a general issue that has not really been an issue this year because we haven't had any real meetings. But when we were having meetings and getting catering both the universities was becoming more and more difficult.
Mhm.
You know, and so it was really just a general something we have to bear in mind when we get back to doing live meetings. I don't know, it just seems to be getting more difficult, or it seemed to be getting more difficult working with the universities.
Okay. I mean, it's something for us to bear in mind, because maybe Nairobi will, maybe I'll get us to think about having hybrid sessions.
Yeah.
And how that works. All right, thank you. So next item on the agenda is the chair's report. Again, we put that out, I think, late last night. Have we had any opportunity to look at it? I need to share.
I scanned it very, very quickly. I can't say
Yeah,
I've really read it.
Let me just.
Well, this new format is you have to put hardly anything in it, certainly compared to
It's brilliant, isn't it?
the last one that Irene did, which came to about, I don't know, 10 pages or something of
Yeah, that's right.
solid text, whereas now we just fill in a few boxes. They seem to go from one extreme to another. But
Yeah.
the
I thought it was quite good and quite succinct.
the only issue I had, there's an error in it somewhere in the meeting attendance data. The average doesn't bear any resemblance to the right numbers for the average in each of the meetings.
I think perhaps because there's a blank in there, because we borrowed or piggybacked on the March meeting last year. I think it's because it's got no
If you look
number.
at the top row says the average is 30, but actually all the numbers except one are way below 30, and that can't be the right average. So before you send it off to
Yeah, I
BCS,
see what
that
you mean,
does
yeah.
need to be looked at.
Something's clearly gone wrong with the sums. I'll look at that, thanks.
Okay, I was going to share that. Let's see. Okay, all right, I see what you mean, Peter. Okay, I think we'll take a look at that again. Yeah.
Well, I'll take that away.
Okay. All right. So the main what was our success is that we've kind of maintained. We've been able to meet. We've adapted very well to online, and the advantage we've seen from it is that our numbers have increased, even though the average doesn't. Well, if you discount the average, meeting by meeting, our numbers have been, attendance has increased compared to when we had face-to-face meetings, and we've been able to reach a wider audience. Last time, I think we had someone from somewhere in America join us, and someone joined us from Europe as well. And we also able to have an archive of our meeting. So the Christmas lecture is still on YouTube and can still be looked at. And when I looked at it yesterday, we had up at least over 790 views. So we going the same way. We've planned our meetings as well. We're trying to our program is such that we're trying to get a wider or to provide opportunities for activities for a wider audience. So we're looking at early careers. We're looking at people in work, people about to get into work, people that are thinking of starting out or working on their own as well. So those are the kind of things we've looked at for 2021-22, and hopefully going forward, we'll try to get our meetings or our activities to cater for a diverse range of members. Hopefully that gets people more interested. And the issues we have are, well, again, we can see today limited member engagement. We do have committee members. A lot of the committee members have been on the committee for a long time. It would be nice to have more people come in, and even if they come in and leave, that's fine. But to get that, I'm not sure we go about that. And it will also help to have direct access to. I believe there should be a list, an email list, but I've not discovered that yet. To be able to have direct access to leads of special interest groups and other branches, so we can share ideas and share best practices.
Maybe that will come about with this new group discussion tool, or whatever it's called, that BCS mentioned a week or two ago.
Yes, hopefully that
It's based on discourse. You mean that one?
Discourse.
Yes, that's the one.
Deanna Massey, can you just scroll down again? There's just a typo you need to correct. So the first time you talked about the Christmas lecture, you got it right. The second time you put IMT, so it's IMA.
IMA, okay, I think I'm okay. Yeah.
You got it right the first time, but on that one, on the
Yes.
planned activity one, you put IMT, so it should be IMA.
All right, thank you for that. Thanks.
So you need to go in and correct that.
Okay. All right, so we make the subject to corrections. Can someone move for the report?
I'll propose it.
Thank you, Peter. Any seconder?
I'll second it. I'm happy to second it.
Thanks. All right,
Not
so
many of us here, so we'll have to
spread the load.
spread the load.
all right. In terms of matters arising, at the bottom here, I did ask I did ask John when the last time was that we actually proposed or nominated any member.
It's 2011. Thank you, Irene.
2011, so that's 10 years ago.
Yeah,
We did. Who else did we?
it was Don and I. We both had, because Don was the outgoing chairperson, wasn't he? And we had a party for him to say
We
goodbye.
did, but didn't
went
we?
off to
Didn't we
Sweden.
also nominate? Didn't we nominate? John Latham, or was it John Latham that we nominated? The Vice Chancellor of Coventry,
Okay. Did he get something?
or was it Alan? Was it Alan Chandler?
I don't remember that.
Okay.
I will check
remember
that
that
and have a look. We not definitely nominated someone else. I thought it was Vice Chancellor.
John, what were you nominated for? Can you remember? Was it certificate of appreciation, meritorious certificate, which of those?
It was a certificate of appreciation.
Okay.
I've been secretary for so long. 10 years further on. Yeah.
It was John Latham. It was John Latham. I'll find the details for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
So I was thinking, I just had three people in mind. I don't know what we think about this. Had John, had Irene, had Margaret.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Step it up to meritorious certificates.
So we had an honorary FBCS for.
Is that me or Irene?
Alan Chandler.
I remember quite on mine as well.
Yeah, but that I think, Irene, that's something different that has to be done specially. These are, and this was something they brought in last year, but we didn't.
Okay.
We didn't get the form until about a week before the AGM. So although John, if you remember, I asked you to come up with a list of how long people had served on the committee, because there's this thing about long service awards for 5, 10, 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
But there just wasn't enough time to sort it out. So these are, I think these are more specifically, it's aimed at the people who've done stuff for the.
Yeah. So these are
committees.
volunteers then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
rather than-
volunteers. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So even though it's not on here, I was thinking we could confirm nominations and then we'll add them onto this and send them out. So
Yeah.
I'm proposing 3. So John, Irene, and Margaret
Excellent.
for meritorious certificates.
Yep. I'll second that, or whatever you want to approve it.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Diana Massey.
Okay, we'll
Thank
do
you.
that and send it out. And thank you for just to say thank you for all you've done.
I think if you want to have details of what I did, I had a very nice award a few years ago that was, so if you remember when it was the 60th anniversary, I went to St James's Palace and had lunch with royalty, which was very nice. And so at that time, all my kind of history went into, you must have had that, John, then.
Sorry?
You must have had my details at that point. Do you remember that?
Of course, yeah. I was going to say, all they've ever sent me, I don't know if you can see these as little stud badges. They kept sending me them. Got quite a nice collection.
Just one other thing that sort of ties, just as an extra thing to add into the chair's report. I think the last one that I did had I think I mentioned that wasn't one of the successes was that Margaret had been given some it was an award she got from the university, wasn't it?
You made a professor.
Yeah,
Professorship.
but this year Margaret has got another award, hasn't she? Was it an MBE or something?
Oh yeah.
So we really ought to get that put in as well.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for that. I didn't know that. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know whether I knew that.
It's on the LinkedIn page because it got posted by the university, I think, and I put a link to it on our LinkedIn.
Oh, amazing. So yeah. So can you add that to the report before you?
Yeah, I'll add that to the report.
Check the details. I think it was an MBA. It was certainly something like that.
And presumably that's related to work that she's done for.
It was related to the educational aspect of all the work that she's done, the outreach kind of stuff. Yeah.
Because I was thinking the form where it's got people's names on it, it doesn't have the education liaison on that, does it? Or does it? Did I miss it?
It's only as a other.
Because it had me on as inclusion officer, but it didn't have.
I thought we.
Did you put Margaret on as?
Yeah, you've listed it. It's not a specific.
Right at the beginning.
Yeah. At the top there.
Yeah. There's a discussion.
Oh, she put it there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, you've got it as other. Yeah, she put it in the other committees.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you can hear me, but for the record, I wrote one of the 2 support letters.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes, Ian. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, hello, Ian. Yeah.
Hi, Ian. How are you? All right. Thank you, everyone. So next is Treasurer's reports. Gary is not able to be here, but he has sent something in. Do you have it, John?
Yeah. I uploaded it. I changed his comment at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to share it, or shall I try to?
Try, please. I might want to.
Share screen. Which one? Share. Where is it? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good, because I can't see it. So basically what Gary's done is he's given us a breakdown of what we've spent. He was just a little unsure about what the £333.33 was. and that's reminding that we paid towards Johnny Bull.
Yeah.
We did, that's right, yeah.
So all meetings have been online, the spend of 330.
So that was down as catering, but in fact it wasn't, it was speakers' fees.
Speakers' fees.
Yes, preferred
Yes, it is.
expenses.
Yeah, expenses, yes.
All right. Will someone move a motion to adopt the treasurer's report, please?
Yeah, I'll do that. It's Peter.
Any
I'll
second,
second it.
Peter. It's a Peter and Peter.
And the other Peter.
Yeah.
Can I stop sharing that?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yes.
That does raise the issue of the student prizes. Do we want to talk about that, or should we talk about it later?
Yeah, we can talk about it as matters arising from the treasurer's report. Yeah.
Okay. So the fact that none of the prizes were awarded last year, I did try to pursue Coventry the year before that. Certainly I didn't do it last year. I think everything was disrupted because of the lockdown and the pandemic. But even the year before, Coventry didn't award any prizes, and I did chase it up with the faculty at Coventry to find out whether they actually still wanted the prizes. And whenever I do that, they say yes, but then they never nominate anyone. So, there's no point in having the money there if they're not going to use it. So I don't know whether, Dana Bassi, whether you want to have a word with perhaps with the dean or with it's probably more appropriate to talk to the head of school, isn't it?
Yeah, I can talk to the head of school. I'm smiling because I'm one of those that will be asked to nominate people, someone.
Yeah.
I think for this year, this year is late because for the November, it's November next month, November graduation. They're already taking nominations for prizes. And I think
the graduation is just about
end of this week.
There.
Yeah, so I can talk. I will talk to the head of school and the curriculum lead. I think what happens if the prize is there, I think course directors will be asked to nominate someone. And then I'll push it up from there. So I think something we should continue doing. Right, thanks.
I mean, it sort of feels like the right thing to do, and yet it always seems to be such a lot of effort to, it's almost as if we're trying to force the money on them. And, I mean, I know I've presented prizes at both Warwick and at Coventry, but each time it was, we seem to have gone through a lot of effort to try and find anybody to nominate, and to actually arrange it. I mean, we don't seem to get anything out of it. And I know that the general view within BCS over the last few years has been, well, if it's already happening and it's already been budgeted and it's a tradition, then they'll keep it on, but they're not doing any new ones because it's not seen as beneficial. But
just a thought based on my experience at Staffordshire, where I was at uni. It tended to be clubbed in with something like the best dissertation project for a graduating student. So that was already happening, and it was already an award that everyone was involved in, and therefore the BCS award was added as part of that. And is that an opportunity for us to not have to have a separate nomination system, etc., and jump on an already existing IT related award?
We've been doing that for about 20 years.
Mm.
Oh, and it still doesn't happen.
But it's now I'm no longer involved in the teaching there. I'm not there to remind them to do it, because I used to be involved. I was the manager for all postgraduate courses, so I knew that when I was doing my awards, I'd have to remind them about the undergraduate awards as well. So I just did it. It was part of my, role every year to do that. But since I've left, there's nobody there to remind them to do it. Because although I'm still at the university, I'm not involved in the teaching anymore, and so I'm not involved in that cycle of events. So I have to kind of be, or somebody needs to be aware of the fact that there's some prompting needed. And normally Warwick were fine. They've been doing it for quite a few years, but they've lapsed as well now. So it is just a question of somebody keeping on top of it and being aware of the fact, But also the admin people knew to contact me, and that was the other thing. But whereas now Marilyn's left, so the people that used to communicate with me about it are no longer there either. So it's not just me. It's a whole lot of different people. So it needs to be, if we're going to continue to do it, there needs to be a kind of trigger system in place to just, to remember, for somebody to remember to do it. But if they don't want it, that's fine. We'll just stop doing it and stop getting the money allocated and tell BCS about that as well.
Yes,
So,
I think, I'll push it from within the school. I'll ring bells from within the school. I think it's good for the students, it's good for the graduates.
Well, it's only good, as Peter said, it's only good for BCS if BCS is getting something out of it. And it needs to be tied in with something else. It needs to be tied into the, the professional training bit, knowing that, so the students are aware of the fact that BCS exists and why they're there and what the benefits are of being a member. Because the other thing we were looking at, because one thing that's tied to the prize, it's not just the money, they also get a free membership for a year. So that's tied in with the prize that they get.
But they have to apply for it.
But they have to apply
and most of them don't.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean the membership. I mean the students already have. They do have students as part of Flying Start. They have student membership for 3 years. So from first year, so it's just, I think again, getting them to use that membership as well, to find it useful to them, because we're trying to get people from BCS to come talk to them as well. To see how they can take advantage of that membership.
So they already have free BCS student membership then, do they?
Yes.
Okay. So that's worth knowing, because I didn't know they had. I know we talked about that in the past, but I didn't know it was actually done. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't need free memberships because the students have already got it. So when we're doing the budget, we need to be aware of that.
So they have free membership as students for the duration of their study unit, not after.
Okay.
I mean, my view is that the universities, if they're not actually advertising that it's there, it's almost a bit of a waste of time. And I've seen it from the other side as well. When I did my masters at Warwick, as a result of what I did for my masters, I got awarded a prize. We had no idea that prizes were there. In fact, when it was awarded, we were taking that was done completely separate from anything else on the graduation day. So even the other people on my course didn't know I got a prize. And you sort of think, what's the point of it? And BCS is not going to get anything out of it unless there's something up saying there is a BCS prize for your dissertation, for your project, for whatever it is, in advance. So that's something to work for. It's no good.
It needs to be there in advance and something to aspire to, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, in terms of recognising it used to go in the catalogue, in the graduation catalogue.
I mean, the one that I presented at Warwick, which was in their computer department, was on the day they got their results, and we were literally standing around in the middle of their building, waiting for the students to get their results because they were being sent by email and there was a delay, so everything was half an hour late. And then once they got their results, then they were told, "Oh, and these two people have got prizes." And you sort of think, "Well, how did that come about?" What? And it just seemed, I don't know, a bit of a waste of time, really.
Can I make an alternative suggestion then?
Yeah.
I take it doesn't have to be tied to academic work. It's tied to someone who's in university doing something related to IT. In which case, do we go through the non-academic route and we talk to their student unions instead? I mean, the Coventry University Student Union and Warwick University are both clients of mine, because I do lots of work with them and therefore have contacts there. And therefore, do we actually create a competition for students to come forward to win a cash prize based on them presenting work, potentially?
I mean, we could do it I mean, in the past we've done a sort of poster display.
We've done papers evenings and posters
papers
evenings, yeah.
evenings. Maybe we do it more as a prize for that rather than tied in with the university prizes.
Yeah, but that really attracts PhD students, not graduate graduates. So because they don't do papers and things.
Right.
Yeah.
No, they do. I remember going to graduate shows at Coventry though, with computing students showing, so that they do have something to show, and so I guess it's entering that into a separate BCS prize potentially. It also, I guess, acts as an advertising mechanism to get more of the students interested in what BCS is. If it's just clubbed in with something they're already winning academically, which would be the easy way to do it, then it's not going to make a big splash. But actually, if there is a student union advertised competition for a student to win a thing, it might do us all world of good as well.
It's complicated. Sorry to pour cold water on this, but I work with the students' union a lot at Coventry, and there's a big turnover of staff, because they have sabbatical officers every year.
Oh yeah, the officers turn around every year, but I mean, Dan and John have been there for many years now and are sticking around for a while. I meet with Dan as their director of communications every week. It can be done, so I take the point, but no, I think that there are members of staff who continue. Think civil service versus elected ministers. I guess
I'm quite aware of the structure of the students' union, so people that work there, and it's just a question of, I suspect if we tried to do that, then the faculty would see that as a snub on them. But you've got to be careful who you offend. But it's
in which case they should have turned up and claimed the prize.
No, just to piggyback on Rich's idea. So, but rather than go through the student union, use the existing showcase. That happens when it's not happened during COVID, but we normally have a showcase, an annual showcase, where students bring out their projects, so we can actually sponsor that and then award prizes there. I mean, that's an option to look at.
So just think we'd need to have an equal and opposite offer for Warwick as well, if we were going to do something.
Oh yeah, that's true. And I was also thinking in terms of the prizes, will it be more helpful to BCS if we were to offer prizes to students at different levels before they graduate?
Yeah, we certainly, Warwick do that. They offer a kind of progress prize and a graduation prize, or they did at one time.
I think when I presented it, it was one undergraduate and one postgraduate, or one undergraduate and one master's level, or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was the undergraduate masters, wasn't it? So there's a kind of 4-year degree leading to an undergraduate master.
So I think there was
kind of the bachelor level one that hasn't finished yet, and
I think they gave the prizes that there was a 3rd-year level and a 4th-year level.
That's right. That's exactly what they did. Yeah.
Okay, so I think anyway, so I think we need to look at these. I'm not well, it's not going to be this year. It's going
I suggest the first thing is to have a dialogue with the faculty and find out if they're interested.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
And then do the same with. I'd rather do it that way around. And if they're not interested, you can put it to them. And if you're not interested, then are you okay with us going to talk to the student union about it? That's my suggestion of how we do it. But if they're interested, then fine. But if they're not, if we want to give a prize, but we need to be clear about what it is that we're going to do and how BCS is going to benefit from it, or the branch.
Yeah, I mean, we could, if we, again, once we all get back to normal, say that yes, we would like to do a prize, but we want to make sure that it's a BCS evening, so it's at a BCS event rather than just we're going to hand over the money, and if you're lucky, somebody will be there to pass the envelope over.
And that would be good, wouldn't it, for the student to come and present what they've done. The only problem with that is the student may have long ago left by the time they
Yeah, I mean,
Award
yeah,
the prize.
we just have to try and work our way around these things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if it's a progress prize, it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
just graduating.
Yeah.
It's a student that's showing promise in course, so they'll still be there. So yeah, there are ways we can do it.
And actually, if it's progress and or something that they're achieving either in class or outside of it, I guess it doesn't have to be tied to the end of the academic year at all.
that's right.
It could be
Absolutely.
more sort of the return after January. So I was just thinking about some of the things that I got involved in while I was a student, and there were things like hackathons and things like that where you were in a team of people, you had 48 hours to come up with something, and it's
Yeah.
whether actually that's an idea of something that BCS could be sponsoring.
Yeah, we've done
me
those
as well,
as well. We have done those as well.
but it's just, and again, market it through Student Union with cash prizes and all those kind of things, and it makes me think that actually that then gets the name out to students, because otherwise it is just BCS turn up on graduation day and hand the check over.
Well, related to that then is, which perhaps we should talk it through at the same time, is the student chapter. And that comes up every year. I'm still the contact person for the student chapter, and I keep saying to them, I'm not the contact person for the student chapter, so I don't have any contact with students now. So you need to talk to the faculty directly. So, and we had a student chapter for about 3 or 4 years. But again, you need somebody there for continuity who's there all the time. So it needs to be kind of find me a tutor or something like that who is the person that is leading that. And I've tried every year, when I get these emails from BCS, I talk to the faculty and say, will somebody talk to BCS about the student chapter, please? And then I don't get anything back. So that's another thing, you know. I mean, the student chapter was, when it first started, was really enthusiastic. And they ran, I think, 2 or 3 hackathons, didn't they, which we helped to support and fund. And BCS funded them. And but the problem is that individual who was leading that then left.
Yeah.
And there was a complete void. There was nobody there to pick it up.
Yeah. So Eric left, and there was a void.
Yeah.
All right. So these are things I can pick up, but I also need to know who to contact at BCS on this. I don't know who.
I'll forward the email to you.
Oh yeah, please. Yeah, so that people don't have conversations I don't over my head and I don't know what's going on.
It only came. There was one came a few weeks ago, and I just said, "Can you take me off your mailing list, please?" And they haven't done. So they've sent me another email, and that arrived today or yesterday, and I'll send that to you.
Oh yeah, right. And then I can try to see if I can get some students together if they're interested in this.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. So that takes us to election of officials. Is it at this point? I think it's the point where I step down.
Don't you dare.
No. Step down for
Run away.
Formally.
Well, yeah, okay, for a moment, and then
so thank you for being our chairman,
chair.
So can I have the nominations for chairman, please?
Can I nominate Diana Bassi, please?
I'll second that.
All in favour?
Aye.
Accepted.
Where's my camera? Oh, there it is. NemCon. I call that a NemCon.
All right, am I back on the channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So let's get nomination for secretary, please.
I'll nominate John.
Okay, thanks, Pete.
I'll second that.
Yeah. All for?
Yeah.
Against? All right, so John.
Elected. Oh, what a surprise.
So John has been elected secretary. Gary has informed us that he's stepping down as treasurer. So if we just record our appreciation to Gary for all he's done in that position as treasurer and serving the branch. And at some point, it was interim chair as well. So we need a new treasurer. And this is an important position. You don't work every day, but you get a monthly account from head office. Rich is smiling. Does anyone want to nominate Rich?
I was going to say, if it's a case of last man standing or last woman standing, I guess it probably is me then, I guess, isn't it? If no one else is going for it.
Thank
All
you.
right, so
Yeah.
Oh, in that case, I'll nominate Rich.
any seconder?
I'll second Rich.
But are you genuinely okay to do it?
Yeah, happy to. I mean, I deal with finances every day, so if it's once a month, check a report, I'm happy with that.
That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
No thumb screws or anything. That's really good.
Yeah, thanks, Rich.
All right. So and any
He's seen this year's treasurer's report with only one entry in it, so it's easy.
Any all for Rich to be his treasurer?
Yep.
Yes.
Any against?
No,
Thank you.
John.
No, you're too late, John.
Rich has been elected treasurer. All right. So another important position is the what's it called now? Inclusion position. So is it equality and
No, it's just the inclusion officer.
that's the inclusion?
Quality and diversity of it.
Yeah,
So
inclusion.
I will do it if nobody else wants to do it, and as there's nobody else around here tonight, it's probably going to be me. I would like to step down from that role eventually, but I do very little in it. That's really the reason why I don't particularly want to continue to do it. I used to run training on unconscious bias and things like that, which I could still do at a pinch. So if nobody else wants to do it, I'll continue in that post if you still want me to.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Quick, first change their mind. Yes.
All right. So we still want you to, please, Irene. Everyone happy with that? Thank you. So Irene continues to be our inclusion officer.
And I think we would want to have Margaret continue in post as a schools liaison because she does such a good job of that.
So just a question about it. Is that the same thing as the mandatory early careers advocate role that we have to have nowadays?
No,
Yes.
we've got to have an early career.
Yeah, we need that as well. So we need someone for the early careers role.
Well, somebody young like Peter Crouch, or Ian Nussey. No, there we are. Someone really. No, sorry, I'm joking.
Thanks.
I am joking.
In all seriousness, what does it involve? Only because I already do some talks in schools, etc., about getting into IT. So it probably feels like on a Venn diagram, I'm doing 80 to 90% of that already.
Gosh.
You're probably the youngest person present at the moment.
Exactly.
That's pure qualification, that is, yeah.
Can I nominate? Can I ask that we add that role to Rich, if that's okay with you, Rich?
Thank you, Rich.
Yeah, it
Thank
seems
you
to be
very
something I do
much.
anyway. So yeah, happy to take that on.
Yeah, I mean, there's a role description on the website which sort of talks about welcoming new members and being supporting progression through member grades and all that kind of stuff.
I think it's more to do with young professionals than schools, that role.
Yeah.
Rich, to be honest. And
I'm still happy with that. I mean, I do various bits of mentoring as well. So yeah, that still kind of works. Yeah,
All
sounds
right,
good.
thank you
Yeah.
very much.
great. And it is really good to have young people doing that role rather than old fogies.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because I mean, I used to spend a lot of time in schools and so on, and doing talks myself when I was younger. But you know, it's much better that younger people do it now. You've got much more in common with people that you're talking to.
I don't feel like it when I'm talking to them, mind.
All right. Has anyone were you able to ask people if they wanted to remain on the committee, John? Do we have? Is anyone leaving the committee?
Nobody's said they'd like to leave apart from Gary.
Does Gary want to stay a committee member, or is he stepping down from the committee and the role?
He didn't say. I did ask him. I asked him that question, didn't I, John? He didn't say.
Well, leave him on the committee.
Yeah.
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 You don't attend the meetings, you'll get elected.
Okay. All right. So that's it. With the committee. At some point, we'll get to have a committee meeting and review how the year is going. So, any other business?
I owe Rich an apology. Sorry, Rich, for dropping you in it. I thought Rich was getting us a chairman. It turns out Rich thought he was introducing us to a chairman for our next meeting. Sorry, Rich.
No, it's okay. No, we're all good. And the compromise we came to is I'll chair it. So that's the compromise we came to. So I think that's the careers event, isn't it? And careers panel.
It's November. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian's kindly agreed to take part in that for us. Ian's being very quiet.
All right. So something on Christmas lecture. I know Margaret has said she's approached Maggie.
Philbin.
Yes. She's trying to organize a meeting with her.
Will there be a fee associated with that? Or is it because she's quite a famous person?
Okay. I don't know. So I think maybe wait for Margaret to get in touch with her.
Yeah, that's all we can do, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Margaret knows it quite well.
that's where we had the problem last year in arranging payment, because we paid Johnny Ball £1,000, but on the other hand we didn't have any refreshments or anything, catering. And I believe both ourselves and IET have a principle of not paying the speakers, so we do have to, be careful.
We have done it before, but I mean, we did it for Roger Penrose, for example. We paid him, and we paid what's his name for the Firma's last theorem one as well.
Simon Singh.
We paid Simon Singh because he demanded it. Yeah.
It might have appeared as buffet or catering or something.
It might have been, but no, we were honest. No, we didn't fiddle it. We paid. But the faculty also paid for some of it. So we were sponsored from various angles. So, it was, the money was spread set in several different directions.
Roger Penrose is quite prestigious, isn't he?
Absolutely, but so is Michael Philbin. But yeah. And so is Johnny Ball, for that matter.
Mm.
So when you got the faculty to pay, Irene, did you request the faculty to do that?
The faculty has paid money in the past when we've asked them.
Okay.
But we haven't asked them for a few years. We've just split it 3 ways between the IET, INA, and BCS.
All right. Yeah.
Not always equally, I have to say. IET are quite generous in that respect. They do sometimes pay more than they share. But what we've tried to do is to make it fair and split it 3 ways.
Okay, that's fine. I was just wondering, when do we get them involved? Because since we're looking for a speaker, when do we get IET and?
They are aware of it already.
Oh, okay, because of, is that Ian?
No, it's because Martin contacted us and asked us if we'd got a speaker.
Okay.
And you won't have been copied in on that because they weren't aware that you're the chair.
Okay, that's fine.
So I can send you a copy of that email if you're interested in it. But there is a conversation going on, so they are aware of it.
Okay, thank you. Right, the other thing I thought of was having hybrid meetings, but that was before I looked at the last year Peter's chair's reports from last year. My thoughts were meet in the classroom and then still beam it to people online. Those were my thoughts, although as I'm talking now, it's obvious I'm having second thoughts already about this, because we do this for classes, but I don't think the cameras take people that well. And I don't know if a lot of people will come out for the face-to-face if it's worth the trouble. What are your thoughts?
Personally, I'd like to get back to face-to-face meetings. I'm sick of doing everything online. So, but clearly we get bigger audiences with it online. So I don't know.
But the university, Coventry University, is set up for hybrid. So I've not been trained in it. I don't know how it works, but Gianavasi, have you used it?
Yes, yes, I have used it, yes.
But again, that sounds good. But do we end up with the same kind of problems that we've had? You know, we've done stuff in Coventry University before, and we found that the lecturn's locked up, and it's only because Irene's happened to have some password that you managed to get us in. And there have been occasions when you weren't there, and we really struggled with meetings. So we need to make sure if we're using university facilities that they're all actually going to be available to us. I mean, that has been a clear problem with some of the meetings in the past.
And I have to say, we've also had the building locked as well sometimes.
Yeah, true.
You know, where the front door was locked, and you know, you could only get in with a staff pass or a student pass. So completely weird. And plus the fact that the catering is really difficult, because the catering company was insisting that we have to use their services, and their prices are really sky high. So difficult.
Is there a reason why university campuses are the go-to? Is that just sort of tradition, or could
It's
we
free.
locate them anywhere? Oh, it's free. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. Painful, but not expensive. I like it.
I mean, in theory, they are good because they have the facilities, and you know, if we wanted to do hybrid stuff, we should be able to do it. It's just the practice isn't quite as good as the theory.
It's a good place for students to join, but you know,
But we don't get the students.
Going way back in time, John, the Coventry branch used to meet at the Burnt Post on the A45.
Yeah,
That was a long
wasn't
time
particularly
ago.
successful sometimes. But what happened was they closed because they were developing their meeting room as a restaurant. So we stopped going there, and that's when I grovelled to Coventry University, and they said, yes, all right, you can come and meet here. And we've been doing that ever since.
Yeah. So that was kind of late 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But then we started to use the facilities at Warwick as well, which was quite nice. So we, you know,
Well, Margaret came on board, didn't she?
Margaret came on board when we.
That was our shoehorn into Warwick.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm just thinking, if we're to do hybrid at Coventry Uni, we need to also do hybrid at Warwick as well.
Well, we don't
balance it out.
We don't know what facilities Warwick have got, and Margaret will be able to advise us on that, but she's not here, so.
Okay. Although I wasn't thinking, I think with Christmas party, I think we should keep that online this year. No, not Christmas, I might think of party now.
Well, no, party.
Christmas lecture, we should keep that
Bring your own cup and saucer and a bun.
My father-in-law used to say, bring your own plate and a bun.
All right, so should we consider hybrid from January then?
Yeah.
I mean, the two ways, I mean, the different ways, what do we call them, models. So you can have a hybrid session that is essentially maybe online, but there are people in the room and there are others online, and we can have one that maybe the speaker is in the room physically and people join online. I think we can make it work.
Well, I think you need to keep options open for January, because we don't know what the situation is going to be.
Okay, yeah.
And I honestly think if you're committed, then it's easier to say, and you'll make a decision on that near the time.
Okay, so all right, so okay, so we make a decision nearer at that time to see. So, but that definitely after.
That's my recommendation.
Definitely in the new year, yeah, not before then. Peter,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd agree that we don't want to try and do anything too early. Let's wait and let the universities go back and see how people are coping with things and what happens during the winter. But yeah, if possible, leave our options open, and maybe if we see that there's a suitable talk coming up and we have the facilities available to us, we can say, yes, it'll be online, but we're actually going to do it as a hybrid. So if anybody wants to turn up, then if we've got a speaker who is prepared to be on site, then do that way.
Okay, that's fine.
And that's one of the great advantages of being online, is that you can have speakers that are much further afield.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Any other business? Okay, in the absence of any other business, will someone move for a motion for adjournment, please?
I'll move for the adjournment then.
Thank you, Peter. Seconder?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Peter. All right, thank you everyone for coming. See you sometime soon.
Thank you.
Oh, are we going to have a committee meeting at some point? You're going to organise that?
Yes, we do need to have a committee meeting. I know we've got a plan, but I think we need to have a committee meeting to review.
I think we need one perhaps in the new year, if not before, so that we can think about next year's plan.
Yes. Hopefully we can do the Christmas lecture without a meeting. We don't need
I think so.
meeting for that.
Yeah. But Rich, you will need, or you would be advised to go for the treasures training. I said treasures training. Treasures training.
Yeah, I think it's called. It has a new name now.
Treasure. Our treasure.
Yeah.
That's fine. No problem.
There's training in.
It will help you to find out what the role's about.
February, March, I believe. Rich. Yeah.
I'll just wing it between now and then. It'll be fine.
No embezzling.
You won't have a lot to do between now and then, except perhaps the Christmas lecture.
Okay.
All right. I think we'll fix a committee meeting. Do we fix some after the new year or early in the new year, maybe February or thereabouts?
Okay. Okay. Good night, everyone.
Take care.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.